I'm really excited to be here today to read my chapter. My name is Melissa Jirovec. I am a Wellness Universe world changer. I am a mindset strategist, and I am one of the co authors for this incredible book that came out this year, The Wellness Universe Guide to Complete Self Care 25 Tools for Stress Relief. Um, just so grateful to be a part of such an impactful project. Um, Hello, Anna. Hello, Vanessa. So I'm I'm gonna get started reading. Gonna be reading the whole chapter for you today, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them at the end. So there we go. By the way, have you guys seen the beautiful cover work? Is absolutely incredible, and I really wanted to mention that because it's just absolutely beautiful. Hello, Jennifer. So my chapter is called Effective Decision Making, Eliminating Conflict and Confusion. As a mindset strategist, it is one of the things that I promote the most is empowering yourself and making decisions for yourself that are really going to allow you to thrive. I think a lot of people avoid decision making or they get stuck in indecision and it causes so much stress. And so it was really important for me to write on this topic. And without further ado, here's my chapter. Effective decision making, eliminating conflict and confusion. My story. I'm not good enough. That thought bounced around in my mind nonstop from my early teens until I was 23 years old. I had absolutely no clue who I was, what I wanted, or where I wanted to go. But what I did know was that my grades were never great, no matter how hard I worked. My body was never right. My friendships were superficial, and I craved connection. I wasn't a good enough figure skater to be an athlete, and that had been my dream. I doubted my every move and struggled to make decisions for fear of making mistakes and being criticized. Then the universe stepped in with a sudden, major course correction. In June of 2014, I was about a year into my career as a registered nurse, a job I was quickly learning I didn't have the nerves for. Just as I was finishing up a night shift in the small town hospital I worked in, we got a call that two victims of a collision were coming in, and one was in critical condition. I quickly headed over to assist in the ER for the first time, and I was so nervous that all I could think on the way there was, please don't let me screw this up. When I got there, I joined the other nurse in the unit, and we started to take a look at the critical patient. As I learned in school, I started at the head and immediately noticed that his head was so swollen he must have had a head injury. As I made my way down, I noticed an injury to the right hand and wrist, lots of torn clothing and scrapes, a broken femur, and wait a second. I know those feet. It was an odd thought, but something was familiar to me. And when I looked again, I realized I knew those clothes too. My gaze slowly went back up to the patient's head, and the whole world stopped at that moment. I couldn't hear, I couldn't smell, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't feel anything. It was my fiance. In the span of just a few seconds, my entire life was changed. My fiance suffered a traumatic brain injury, amongst many other injuries. As his common law partner, I had to make many serious decisions for him. I got a lot of love and support, but I was also pressured and flooded with negativity from people trying to be realistic. Eventually, I was on my own as we moved from hospital to hospital for his care. Do you know what I learned? How to trust me. I got a giant crash course on it. I also learned how to stand up for myself and how to truly be an advocate for someone else. I discovered my strengths, my resiliency, and the fact that I'm actually not only adequate, but quite capable. It was a revelation. When my fiance turned husband was finally discharged from the hospital 5 months after his accident, I began a self discovery journey while I cared for him at home. I gradually identified the things that I wanted and the things that I wanted to do. And do you know what I discovered? Making decisions is easy when you know who you authentically want to be, what you want, and where you're going. So I made a committed decision. I decided I would continuously set a big goal for myself and work towards it until I made it. I started with a vow renewal ceremony. My husband and I were married in hospital, and then the honeymoon of our dreams in Australia. We'd both always wanted to go. What followed was a half marathon, self publishing my first book, self publishing my second book, numerous speaking engagements, and trips to Nevada, New York, Arizona, and California. Then we realized our dream of having a family, bringing two little babes into the world 20 months apart. I then competed in two bikini bodybuilding competitions, found and bought our dream home, and now I'm training for a half Ironman triathlon while building a business that I'm passionate about and contributing to this incredibly powerful book. All in 6 years' time. Sometimes I wonder what that shy, fearful, stressed, self conscious, worried, dissatisfied girl who longed for so much more but couldn't bring herself to make it happen would say if she could see what her future held. I wonder just how shocked she would be to know that she could comfortably speak in front of crowds, that she could raise two young children for the most part on her own, that she could network and seek mentorship from people who make more money in a month than she ever envisioned herself making in a year and hold her own, that she could make good friends around the world during a global pandemic. I mean, if I could just go back and give that girl a hug, I would let her know that everything would be more than all right. This year it became increasingly evident to me that the universe rewards action, but we can't take consistent and persistent action without first making a committed decision. Our time, money, and energy are too valuable to waste making moves without direction or purpose. I often think of my husband's accident as being a near death experience by proxy for me. It was a huge slap in the face to wake the hell up. And all of a sudden, I couldn't understand why I had been living such a limited, unhappy life. Wake up, go to work, errands, eat, TV, bed, regularly complain that I'm tired, say I'm going to do things that I won't do, feel frustration and stress because deep down I felt like this can't be it. I know I can't have worked so hard for my university degree for this to be it, for this to be my life. It was far from a bad life, but it was also far from the life I was secretly dreaming of. The tool, effective decision making. Indecision causes a lot of stress. As a person who used to be quite indecisive, I know the suffering it can cause. The internal turmoil as you review your choices over and over. The doubt and worry that follows your every move like a shadow. The desperation as you ask everyone you know what they think you should do, directly and indirectly. The stress and heaviness you experience as you repeatedly think, I have no idea what I should do. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of making a mistake, fear of criticism, fear of not moving forward while everyone else seems to be. Many avoid decision making at all costs. Have you ever sat in a room with a group of people and someone asks, where should we go out to eat? And in response, you hear, I don't know. I don't care. It's up to you. You decide. Doesn't matter to me. You guys pick. I'm up for anything. And the group frustratingly does this song and dance until someone finally decides to make the decision. But they didn't want to. Nobody wanted to. Did you know that the most effective people in the world make decisions quickly and stick to those decisions? They don't trust them. They trust themselves, and they persist in the decision until the desired result materializes into physical form. The man of decision cannot be stopped. The man of indecision cannot be started. Take your own choice. Napoleon Hill. How do you make confident, committed decisions that are always right always beneficial and always moving you forward? Number one, know what you truly want, eliminating confusion. And number two, know who you truly want to be, eliminating conflict. Your life map. This is an exercise I give to the readers in the book. I invite them to grab a pen or paper, a pencil, or sorry, a pen or pencil, a paper, a timer, and find a quiet space. I invite the reader to sit down and roll their shoulders backward and forward a few times, then take 3 deep breaths. Stretching out your fingers a bit, get ready to set a timer for 10 minutes. During these 10 minutes, you will hear nothing but the pencil or pen writing on the paper and your own breath. You will see nothing but the 2 lists being created before you. Now take your sheet of paper and draw a line right down the middle from top to bottom. Once you've done that, on the left-hand side at the top, write wants in capital letters. On the right-hand side at the top, write I am in capital letters. Here's what you're going to do. For the first 5 minutes, you're going to write out everything you really want. What would make your life better? What do you really want to have? What do you enjoy? What would fulfill you? How do you want to spend your time? What do you wish you had more of? What would make things easier for you? Do not overthink this and do not think about the hows, likelihoods, or any other limiting nonsense that might come up. Stay focused and just write out the ideas that come to mind. If time and money were not an issue, what would you want? For the last 5 minutes, you're going to think about the person you want to be. What qualities do you really want to possess? How do you really want to feel? If there are people you admire, what is it about them that you like? What kind of person has the things you want to have? Write these out in the present tense. For example, I am confident. I am wealthy. I am organized. I am in control. I am at peace, etc. Once you've completed these 2 lists, consider them to be your life map. This is what you want to be, do, and have. This is where you're going. Feel free to go over these lists a few or many times, add things, edit things, make sure they are exactly what you want. A lot of people attribute the word success to income, fame, and material items. The truth is, success means to be moving forward. Any person moving forward towards a goal is successful. If you aren't pursuing a goal, you are stuck in place. And while that may not consciously cause you stress, subconsciously, it most certainly does. It often comes out as frustration, irritation, lack of patience, snapping at your coworkers, spouse, or the kids. It comes out as feeling burnt out, feeling stressed. Just pause for a minute, sorry. There we go. Nope, one more. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Where am I here? It comes out as feeling burnt out, feeling stressed, feeling sad, or feeling the fear of missing out. We are goal-seeking organisms, and we thrive when we are moving towards the things that we want. We thrive when we succeed, which is when we move forward. Take your 2 lists and put them somewhere where you will see them every day. Your nightstand might be a good choice. Because they are so important, feel free to put them on nice paper, frame them, make them stand out, because they are something you want to be looking at often. Now, to move forward without overwhelm, you'll want to pick one want and one I am statement to start moving towards first. Maybe there are 2 that can be connected in some way. If you decide you want a promotion at work and you've decided that you will be confident, well, that would be a nice pairing, wouldn't it? Once you've made your choice, then comes the most important part. Make a committed decision that you will work on acquiring these 2 things starting today. These are your goals as an individual. This is for you to thrive, for you to succeed, for you to be well and fulfilled and energized with purpose. This will also benefit the people in your life. When they see you making progress and creating positive change in your life and going after the things you want, they will be affected. They may be really happy for you. They may comment on the change in you, and they might even be inspired and want to join you. But first, you have to commit to yourself here and now. When you make a committed decision, that means that you accept no results but the results you intend to get. There's no "I'll try" or "we'll see how it goes." There are no excuses or justifications. There's no procrastination, no thinking about it, no pros and cons. Time, money, and energy are not barriers to your wants or your growth and development. When you really want something, you make the time, you find a way to get the money, and your excitement from desire gives you the energy that you need. We all dream in secret. Your wants are your dreams. For some, their dreams are buried so deep that they start to become satisfied with the status quo. Not happy, but satisfied. Very few dream out loud, and even fewer actually make their dreams come true. The dreams get put off to some future time under the arrogant assumption that there is ample time left, guaranteed. Or the deepest desires are ignored to instead be like everybody else for fear of taking a different path. Or perhaps the dreams are put on a shelf, never to be chased due to the faulty belief that it is simply isn't possible. Once you know what you want and who you are becoming, you know how to move forward. There's no confusion about which direction to choose. There's no inner conflict wondering what others might say or think, what could go wrong, or any of that noise. You can feel at ease knowing that whatever comes up, you're still moving forward. And other decisions become easy to make as well. All you have to do is ask yourself, is this going to get me to where I'm going? Is this going to support my goals? Is this going to provide the self care I need so I can be, do, and have what I want? Is this for somebody else? If so, do I have the time, money, or energy to give? Is this a priority for me and or my family? No? Okay, next. Personal growth is a continuous journey. You never arrive. But one of the biggest lessons I've learned through all this is to really pay attention to my intuition and what it's telling me, rather than listening to my logical mind, which seeks to keep me in the known, comfortable territory. A few principles I live by. If I get an inkling to do something, I should do it, or at least look into it. If I truly want it, I owe it to myself to get it. That is self love. If I can't believe in and trust in me, why should anybody else? And the big one, how can I ever expect my children to be and love their authentic selves, to seek happiness, fulfillment, success, and live life on purpose, with intention, and experience true joy if I don't show them how? It all starts with a committed decision. So that is my chapter. Um, Thank you so much for hopping on. If anybody has any questions, I'm an open book. Feel free, ask away. Nothing is off limits. And in the meantime, I will get you a link to the book if you do want to purchase it. Sorry, I had it up here and for some reason it's gone. So there we go. So I will leave you the link for the book here. Oh, I don't know why it didn't turn into a link. That's odd. I am loving all of this. So empowering. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. And I'll also leave you, where did it go now? There we go. I'll also leave you the link for if you want to connect with me. I know different people kind of spend time on different platforms, but these are all of my links. However you'd like to connect. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. It's a real privilege to be on. Thanks, Jay. My husband, ladies and gentlemen, he's hopped on in the comments. Um, if anybody has any other questions and you're watching the replay, I will definitely hop on and answer. So feel free to put that in the comment box. No problem, David. It's a real pleasure. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it. All right. If that's everybody, I hope you have a really incredible rest of your day. Have a great weekend and take care.